Oh my God, I'm so depressed. Oh crap. Can't believe it. I was gonna stop the video at 31 minutes and I'd lost the whole thing. Anyways, I'm just gonna give you the basis of it. Okay, the basis of it is this word, Zion. It also looks like 2014. If you reverse the word the other way, it says noise. 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 OIS, okay, can also be represented as oiseau, which means bird. And you can also say it means bones in French. If you listen to it and you don't hear it properly, it says nose, noise. And also, like I said, it means bones and it's your nose. Okay, so you get 2014 out of that. Now, what happens to 2014 is the 20th letter is T, the 14th letter is N. This is the passage, 14. 1 and 4 is 5, making the E pass, but it's the N pass. It's the EN pass. In fact, it's the END pass because the angle is right here. The 4 shows the D, A, B, C, D. E is the 5th letter. 14th letter is N. You have END pass right here. The dead end pass is right here. Okay, so 10, if you add up 2014 and 5, you get 39. TEN is what it spells. 10 in this world means perfect. 8 sometimes means the directions, or it can mean 360 degrees around. It all depends on what you're looking for. I have no value to anybody that does not want to implicate anything that I say in any way. We are looking to work together. I have a method. You help me. We help you. We all help each other. So if people are not in with me, well, guess what? Maybe they'll show an opposition and I will learn what I am doing wrong. And I'll learn from the ones who are opposing me. Because when you fall into a certain line, you can see exactly where everybody exactly is. It's like getting a scope on everybody. So at the beginning, you want a scope because you know what? If God knows we're all going to heaven, you think I'm going to come down here and go, yeah, God, hey, son, yes, God? Well, don't call me God, call me Dad. Yeah, Dad. He said, Dad, I don't want to go. You got to go to ski school. Dad, it's cold down there, okay? And they're always fighting. You got to go. But it's cold. I'll give you a good pair of boots, okay, and socks. Put the socks on your shoes, on your foot, on the sole in your heel to stand. You're going to stand up when you get down there, and you're not going to roll over and play dead. You're not a little marble anymore, my son. Down to earth you go for the fun. But Daddy, they're always fighting. They're always fighting. I want to stay. Son, when you get there, okay, and you get laid, you'll see how everything hatches out. Hatches out. Of course he's getting laid. He's an egg. Of course we were eggs. Where do you think we come from? Hello? If someone ever watches this video, I want you to explain to me how you can prove that we're not eggs. I can prove to you in less than a minute, 100%, we are one of the biggest jellyfish in the world. When you're inside that little stomach over there full of water, getting food, getting a little action as your mother moves around, that your body is feeling what's going on, but the mind really doesn't know anything yet. The body knows, but the mind doesn't. Of course the body knows. It's growing in you. You're feeding it. It must know something. It's taking in what it needs and it's still growing. And most of the time, everybody gets to the last month. Some of the time, well, poor soul didn't make it. Not your fault. It was only a body. You do not come into this world with a mind. What would you do with a mind in this world at 1 day old? You need your mind at 1 day old. You need the mind of the body. The mind knows what the body needs, and it cries out to get what it needs to feed on to grow. It knows this is the recipe. It's not like you and me. Yeah, he's going to say that, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. I'm only 6 hours old and I'm ready to do the Olympics. Oh, these computers, these old, defunct computers. Oh my God. Bill Gates, don't you know what he's doing, Bill Gates? Bill Gates has already built so many supercomputers over these. He's laughing at everybody all the time. But he's silent about it. You know why? Because he's been doing it cyberspace via his angel in another planet. He's building new networks that will come in and reshape the mind of all men. The elements of the vibrations will now take upon them the true energy from the planet's energy that comes from the new time of the universe and taking part. And the ball started rolling on the date of the passing of a full moon, Lenin, 11/11/11, November 11th last year. It was nice outside, wasn't it? For one of you. So I showed you that thing with the Illuminati 2012. Another thing, did I ever tell you that thing about, nah, we're not going to do that. Oh, May 1st, supposed to be an Illuminati first day or whatever. Does anybody know what May 1st is? It's the first day of the month of flowers. It comes after a month of creation. 30 days in April, the Delta seed was planted for May. Now, what May did for the Mayflowers, who comes over but a gentle flower? That's right, the number 6, man. The letter is F. Man is the flower. God represents us in so many ways. So many ways. I have never thought to think the F, the F6, the F1. Yeah, that's the F1 angel. Don't forget about R, right? R is the only letter where an angel supports the consonant sound as they roll together with Resh and R. Resh is almost like saying a race. You've got the R in control of the A, which is very rare because only J and K can be ahead of the A. Do you know why? Because the K, the king card, is not real. It's a connection of the spirit mind. And the Jack, it's like your telephone. It's a hookup. You want to get hooked up? J and K. But R, no. It rolls from both sides. And when R in the Hebrew language says Resh, they say it with an E, they say it with an A. Well, you say X and I say O, I say left and you say go. Jerusalem will be the place, and the house of David will be rebuilt. And there will be a split in the nations. And it will not be for a God, but for a nation of a trusting of one way, the right way. Thus, you are not the right way, you are the other way, and you are a reflection of our goodness. And then and only then, when will this day come? When will this day come, they say. And I look back and I say and I think and I know and I say to myself, what day would this come? When the first actual plague is cast by the evil side, where all man is almost stopped in his tracks with no place to go, thus only the feeling and the want of the Christ energy to come, only the feeling he will know. He measures it. He knows how much and for what reason we really want him. And he makes us think, because that's what it's all about. It's all about the best thinkers. Thinking about what? What are we thinking about? Reason. The best reasons. The reason is what we want for life and the reason for all. And my first cassette I ever made I didn't know what I was saying. I just started gibbering out all about reason. Justification. It has to exist so that everybody can understand the difference. But need knowing that all is just God and one, and you follow him. If you don't go off the path, you will not see. You cannot round the corners and the edges. So God gave us, we are the fingertips of an angel, a closer touch, a smell. But when it's all over, we're back to whence we came. Thus we deserve the life of the King of David's house, the house of David, Jerusalem. It will all be reset, and you will see man will live in the gardens once again. Man will turn around. No longer will we have this. Our thinking will not be the same. It won't be what he has and I want more, or oh my God. Everything will be about, okay, the rule is this is his, this is mine. I'm taking up his space. I better go ask him. And you have to go ask. And if it says no parking and there's a reason you can't park, you're going to get a ticket, you know? And the court systems, they suck. And I'm going to have a better court system than that. Do I know what it's all about, whatever I'm going to have? Like I said in my last video, I want to save everybody. It's only a thought. Will it ever happen? Listen, if it ever does happen, YouTube, what happens to my stuff if I get knocked off one day, I die? Will you keep this on forever just in case somebody hears? Because in case my dream happens, I want someone to say, watch this video! It'll be in 120 years from now. I'll be 180 years old and say, hey, man, check out MrTacpans in his prime. Where is he now? He's upstairs. He told us he was going. That's why his videos are still running. That's what I'm hoping, that they're still running. I'm hoping I'm making a difference. Hold on a second. I had 38 views this week. That's good. That tells me the heavens are aware. And I think I'm being videotaped in every videotape I do. So every videotape of mine that doesn't show up, I believe one day, there's one day is the day. It's today that I believe. And I believe the day will come. The day will come. The day will come. The day will come. What day will come? What are we talking about? Listen. The day will come where justification will pass upon all man. All man will see and learn that there is a God and there is a creator. We are going into the final semester. What goes on and what changes will come about, okay? When they see the love is strong enough and the need for Jesus to come and pass his wand upon, a Messiah will be chosen from the land of Jerusalem. Just like they say, a Messiah or Messiah or whatever you want to call him, he's going to be chosen. And he's going to get that magic hand of God, and he'll only be able to use it if he's doing good and right. And don't forget, there's a balance, right? God doesn't say you have to be exactly on. No, you have to be in between, my friends. It's all about in between. There's air inside of you. Suck it in, push it out. Suck it in, push it out. Suck it in, push it out. Suck it. Hey, man, that air is fucked. I suck it in, I blow it out. I suck it in, I blow it out. Sometimes I don't want to suck it in, and it keeps on coming in anyways. My body doesn't know to stop breathing. My body wants life. And it terrorizes you, and that's part of the demon devil, right? Is inside the spade. Because it wants to live forever. But you and your stupid mind, right? You're the guys who go to those mental hospitals and then hang themselves down the street. The spade doesn't want that to happen. The mind, okay, don't forget it's two parts of the mind. Okay, wouldn't your spade body want to stay alive? Because once you're gone, the spades are all dead. You know what I'm saying? The spade is the strongest card in bridge. But when man dies, that spade is gone. There is no spade. You're just a club. That's all you are, just a club. You know why a club? It's like a baseball bat. Take a look at it. I mean, if they can separate the handle, it looks like an eye. It looks like a exclamation point. It's about all we are at the end of it. Just a big old explanation point and huffy and puffy, and we can blow ourselves up to a different shape. We can rent new body bags and come into the world in a different shape, blown up and sucked in by the air, drink the water, turn our hair silver gray and die from the toxic rain and the air again, and the air in the water, and the water in the air, and the salt in the water and the air, and the sugar and the salt, the sugar and the salt and the water and the air, and the sugar and the air and the salt, the magnesium. Magnesium, oh my God, the Baltic, oh my God, infected, Baltic is infected. Baltic is infected. Infected. You see, man can live with a lot of viruses. You want to understand? I'm going to jump back onto something else. Man can live with a lot of viruses, but what GM does is it's too fast for man's genetics. What GM is doing is okay, but they have to label. You have to label. What GM is doing is okay, but the thing is, um, it's all advanced. I mean, the corn is going 10 times quicker, but you're not doing anything quicker than before. You're the same human being. So once that gets in you, it's going to change. And all of a sudden, oh my God, I got A, D, and D. I got A, D, and D, and A. I've got DNA and everything because of all this stuff. They're changing the way it doesn't matter what the mind wants sometimes. It's changing something in the mind, and you sort of get lopsided, and now, oh my God, you're in the wrong world. You're in this world. No, I'm in that world. What world am I in? So you just get totally lost between the passages. So yeah, if they test their food and mark their boxes, sure, maybe in 50, 60 years after testing it on something, or maybe 80 or 100 years, usually a cycle, maybe a bicentennial, 200 years. It's not our fault. Listen, we can start something today, but we can die and let somebody else finish it. You can't rush DNA, whatever, how they do with it. Okay? It's not possible. I'm going to explain to you why. If you rush anything and change any genes in any of the plants with any kind of chemical, and you speed it up and change its color in any way that it forces it to do something different, okay, that means you have to go to the human being and change him so that when he eats it, that everything in his body is already adjusted for that already. And it's not possible. How do I know? I haven't had a needle in 10 years. So it's not in me. You know what I'm saying? It's not in me. So if I had the needle to help it to come into me so I can relax, but that's why we have all like this ADD and all these mental illnesses and heart disease and whatever else it is. I don't care what it is, okay? If you're sick, blame it on the food. Blame it on the water. Blame it on the air. Okay. Now, forget about blaming it on yourself or anybody else, but that's what it is. Isn't it? Listen, we are like, listen to this. Imagine you go in a submarine under the water. Okay, that's our Earth. That's our Earth. Exactly like that. But we go, the air is not empty. I mean, there's always a molecule that takes up in the air. I mean, when the sun beams coming in and the air is of one temperature, there's always an exchange of an element in the air. So whether there's a lot of humidity or whatever else it is, there's always that element in the air which makes that consistency, in which gives the vibrant whatever, however the earth takes it off the sun, and la 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 la. I don't know everything, and I don't really know much at all. I have put a lot of stuff together. There's so much more stuff to do. Why am I doing it all? I want to prove my point that creation happened thousands of years ago, and we are, like I said, Microsoft, this computer from Microsoft is like 10,000 years old. It's like a dinosaur. You know why? Because I don't like to say this, but God does have a little infiltration into his computer, but in his home set computer that reorganizes the mainframe, there's only one way in, and no one has ever broken the code. Okay? No one has ever hacked into to this code, but yet we are hacked all the time. This is something that has existed not for 10 years or 20 years. This is something that has existed since the beginning of an element touched another element and something got interfered. This has never had any interference ever. Okay? As long as you're alive. So that's simple. As long as you're alive. And when you're dead, your soul has great contact, but your soul like sort of melts. Okay? Your soul is won over by the spirit. And the spirit falls in love with the soul. And it learns so much the way of the land of the peace. And they mold together and they junction together to make a new body. For the first time, God has angels, man of heaven, archangels. So beautiful, isn't it? And it's true. But we're going to go through some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go through some shit. I hope I'm not involved. But like I said, I'm going to, whatever it means to stand up and reunite the people, I'm going to try and do that if I ever get elected in any situation. So far, I got 39 hits last week. I figure if I double up every 3 weeks by the year 2018, 19, 20, I might have enough votes to be able to start. But by that time, I'm always too late. I always show up the wrong time. I can't believe. How's that possible? The game of life, I come back and the game is over. I want to come back and play. I come back in 2019 as a spirit, but there's nobody home. There's no one in the dugout. What are you talking about? The dugout? Isn't that where you go after? No, you start there. You go from the dugout. You go to the field. You play on a diamond and you get first base. But when you get out there, you go to the on-deck circle. ON means on. 14 and 15, the little eggy. The N is the passage. The deck is the angel e-world. How are you? Welcome to creation heaven. CK. Okay. If you don't know what CK is the expression of 23W. One of the reasons for that. And it has to do with the on-deck circle. So then that's already 2 moves. You went from the dugout. Let's say the dugout was 0. On-deck circle would be 1. At the plate, okay, would be 2. First would be 3. All of a sudden, the minute you get the first, right, the plate was 2, or you went into play. First was 3, 2 and 3, home plate, and first. On your first move, you've now had a creation. You're now on the bases. And now you got 4 corners to make, just like Go and Monopoly. Except baseball doesn't play. You ever notice that? You ever notice the way Monopoly plays? Monopoly on Go, you go to the left, which would be third base. But in baseball, you go to the right, which is first base. But free parking and Go are in the same place. And the pitcher's mound is where all the money is. Who gets paid the most in baseball? Is it pitchers or hitters? You ever hear of an RBI? Archangel Beta Institution. Knock us in a run. Again, Archangel. Anybody safe? You got a spirit. Baseball is so high in the heavenly things. In fact, sports. I'm just tempted. I don't even know where to jump in next. Sports, anything. Oh my God. You can relate anything you want, like I said earlier in my last video. Find a definition for 10 different numbers, and then find a way you can combine them all together where it proves to be a story, and the numbers associate all the time and can be reflected to other stories in which the same numbers would reflect the same situation. You get my drift? God gave us all the pieces. They're just scattered around the world in different languages, different visions. points of views, points of use, usage. You ever hear of the mouse system? It means the word you choose. Because in French, okay, or in English to French, it would be mot, which may mean word, and then USE would be use. So use the word, use the mouse. Anyways, we're going to move on. We're going to get on. We're going to move on. We're going to get on. I just wanted to mark down that monopoly thing because sometimes this is third, and this is free parking, and this is go to jail, and this is a go. Okay. Anyways, where else was I with that? Yeah, so I'm Jewish, and what am I supposed to say? Big deal or no big deal? What is God going to say to me if I say big deal? Well, I can't really say big deal anymore, okay? Because I just believe that the system out there does have to do with the Mediterranean. I'm not going to say Israel. The only I am going to say is the word chosen for the land, okay, land or lamb, okay, is Israel. Now think of it. It actually says is real. Also, it means 1 in 5, the 15th letter is the O. It would say O is real, 15th letter in the alphabet. This also says 5 and 1. One spirit, the 5 passage, archangel in the E world of all. A and L means the angle of the queen, angel and queen, because the L is the 12th letter in the deck. It means 3 creation. It finishes off with 1, 3, 13. And there you go. What else was I going to tell you? Yeah, so I'm a Jew, and I just see all these things in numbers and letters, and I see how it all associates mostly to the Jewish, all surrounding the same thing. Well, just it was going to be somebody, you know what I'm saying? Now, all these other gods, do they exist? Well, you know what? Truthfully, yeah, they do exist. They do exist. If they make man do something that's good, and then yes, they exist. They all exist. Any God doing good, okay, in the way and views, the points of views of Hashem, okay, then they all have their own gods, okay. But at the end, okay, they won't be sorry if they only see one God. But their God does exist somewhere as an archangel in the sky, helping out. They will see at the end that the true God was them, but during life, the only one that was able to pull them through was Allah. Alley up, alley oop. But I think Allah and the Jewish God are the same one. I just think that. And it doesn't matter if they pray differently. And we have to pray every day, because if we forget to pray, then we're going to forget the golden rules. Automatically, we must be all associated and friends. We have no choice. You have to sort of act like the energy inside a positive and a negative. You know what I'm saying? You just got to go with the flow. You got to go with the all. It's just you know what? It's just a flow, man. If you don't, you got a computer, you program it to go forever this way, and that's the way it has to go. Yes, you can go inside and outside in so many places to do so many things, but you got to eliminate whatever is going to cause the difference. That's what we want. We need to eliminate the difference. We're always saying look in between, and now we have to eliminate the in between, because it's the in between that got us in this trouble the first place. You know why? Because it was in between the two parts of man's minds when he started to think, and that was the in between that was good enough for one man to be between another man, another brother, right? Come on. Anyways, we're still in the correctional world. I still am a Jew. I still think Christ is the one who's going to come and make a selection. I don't think God's going to come into this world, really. Not in this period of time, anyways. I think Christ will come in, and maybe in 100 years from now, maybe Hashem will show his face, but not until this land is totally silent on man's basis. When the Messiah takes over and equalizes the land, only then will the invited God come down, when all man reflects towards that there is a reality to the truth inside this world of creation. I am Raphael 7286, and I do believe.